Are we live? Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. We are getting ready to start show number 77 for February 10th. And as you can see, we have a guest co-host.
Hello, everyone.
This is my dear friend, Sean Sposato. Before we start, though, as always, please share this video with your friends because every share makes a big difference and we truly appreciate you. And we do have a really fun show for you tonight, so it's totally worth sharing. So
I would share it.
Everybody sing hi, Sean.
If I wasn't here. Hi, everyone. How are you guys doing? It's so good to be here. I personally would share the show if I was not watching it.
That's
I
right.
would be sharing it.
And actually, Sean has wanted to do this show for quite some time. We've talked about it, and finally we're able to get you here to talk with us.
I know. Life is so crazy.
Life is crazy.
I know, but we made it work.
We made it work.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to tell you, everybody is like, Sean, see, you got fans, Sean. Look at him.
We have autograph signing after the show.
No, there will be
autograph signing.
There will be an autograph signing soon. I promise.
So just to give you a little background, so before we start chatting, Sean is a theme park blogger and theme park enthusiast all around, who actually recently left the theme park blogging world to go do something more corporate. So like he's not in our cartoon world as much anymore, but you keep up with everything.
I do. I follow every blog on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. I get notifications. I'm actually trying to get fast passes to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Okay.
I'm still a diehard lover of Disney World. I'm not as in it as I once was.
No, but see, he's got me to keep him updated as
I do. I do.
He'll be like, okay, tell me everything. Tell me everything. So, I thought that we could so Sean and I, over the past few years, got to cover a lot of fun events together. Yeah. I mean, stuff that you would normally like this is crazy that we're doing these things.
Yeah.
And what is I'm gonna put him on the spot. Ooh. Okay, you ready? So what is one of your favorite events that we got to cover together?
Oh my gosh.
They were all good.
They were all amazing.
In all fairness.
No, they were. All of them were amazing. I would have to say probably. Oh my god, that's a really tough one.
What about so
I want to say just Galaxy's Edge in general. I feel like that was so exciting.
That was a good one.
And we were together for a lot of that. Mm-hmm. But I feel like another one that really was kind of, I don't know. I'm trying to.
The cruise.
The cruise was. We did our
okay. So we went on a cruise together, and it was my first Disney cruise, and wasn't it your first Disney cruise? First Disney cruise. This was a couple of years ago. We got to go cover on the Disney Dream. Mm-hmm. And I think that we were equally super excited because we knew about Disney Cruise Line because we had to cover it, but we didn't get to experience it firsthand. So that was a fun trip.
That was a really fun trip. And it's funny, a lot of people mostly remember me from that trip because I did just small karaoke moment that has followed me ever since. Fortunately, we don't have the clip for tonight.
Okay, I know.
Maybe on another show.
On another show because I think John Panda had that clip because he was showing us. But it's so funny because that cruise was a couple of years ago. And the other night I was at Disney Springs covering something, and on my way home I was letting my Apple Music play. And the song that Sean sung on the cruise popped up. I literally sent him the screenshot, and I said, "Thinking of you." So do you?
My heart melted.
Huh? I know. Okay. So do you guys want to know what song? Because it was I will always think of you.
Take it away, Sean. Sing it.
I don't want to get copyright infringement. This video is not being flagged on my behalf.
No.
I would never do that.
But it was, what song was it?
Oh my god, it was the Backstreet Boys, and it was I Want It That Way.
I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys. And
Die Hard.
But truthfully, and I don't even say this just because I love you, That is one of my favorite Backstreet Boys songs.
Is it really?
It is. I love boy bands.
Yeah.
But that's like one of my favorites.
One of
That's
the
why
best
it was on my list.
That is so funny.
And when it started playing, I was like, oh gosh, I gotta send this to Sean.
Yeah.
But it's just stuff like that. You know, we're so fortunate that we got to cover these type of events and make those memories together. So. And I've said this before, like when we cover events, there's a lot of people from a lot of different outlets, and it's not always the most comfortable situation.
No.
So you find your people that you gravitate to, so that when you are overwhelmed or you do need help or you want people to enjoy the event with, you have your people, and Sean was my people.
Oh my God.
So I know, I just love him still. It's still like it still is different without you there.
Yeah.
I will say that, because but one good thing came of it. Well, lots of good things besides memories, but we became good friends because
we did become very good friends because of it.
So things all worked out.
They did.
But see, he still loves all the same things I love as far as Disney and all those things.
Yeah.
So that's why he's here to talk with us,
That is
because
why
we
I'm
have
here.
all kinds of things. So I thought we could start by talking about your experience with Rise of the Resistance.
Yes.
Because Sean went and did the whole virtual queue.
I did.
So because I haven't yet, and actually I have not been back since Media Day. I have not been on it since.
In December.
I know my kids haven't been on it yet. Like I haven't
December
done it.
5th, right? December. It was like the beginning of December.
Yeah, I
it was
know.
a
I
lot.
feel like my Disney card is gonna get taken away because I haven't gone and done it since. But it's a lot. I mean,
it's intense. Yeah, so it's an intense experience. Like you definitely have to rise very early for this. I actually woke up. I remember the morning of. I went on. It was that Saturday, I believe I went, and I woke up literally at I think 4:00 in the morning because I live about an hour from Disney. And so I got up, I immediately just got ready in like a half hour. And I remember I pulled up at Hollywood Studios at 5:20 in the morning.
oh my gosh.
And I mean, it was insane. It was so intense. I remember thinking like, this is crazy. I don't know.
Like, why am I here?
Oh, why am I here? And I went right to the front of the gate. I immediately got in line, and I stood there for about, I want to say an hour and a half, because they didn't let us in until 7.
Yeah.
Because that morning they were actually doing early magic hours. And so for anyone who is looking to do this experience, rising early for Rise, definitely look for that. Don't go on the days of the early magic hours, because there's a good chance they won't open the park earlier.
I didn't even think about that as far as
Yeah.
early magic hours, because they were saying something about resort guests get the advantage because they have the extra time. And the virtual queue has been kind of something that I don't know why I have a hard time wrapping my head around it. It's like, okay, so you have to get there, but you have to be scanned into the park.
Yeah.
You can't be, and the people were confused, like, oh, so I can just get to the park. No, you have to be Magic Band scanned in before you can even get in a queue.
No, you're so correct. So after the park opened, I actually had my phone in hand, and I went to the turnstile and immediately clicked on to get that fast pass, or the virtual, joined a boarding group to then get what is essentially actually not a fast pass at all. It's just a place in line digitally. I actually made it into boarding group, I think 34, and just as like a frame of reference, because I actually just recently went back and I got boarding group 93.
Oh my gosh.
And so, and I want to talk about this because I don't want anyone at home to like have any confusion, because when I first wrote it, it was like the first week, and I think they were still kind of working out some of the kinks. And so, being in boarding group 34 back in December, I didn't get on until around maybe like 2 o'clock. Literally, guys, we wrote 93, and we're like, oh my god. We like, even if it's there's a good chance you get to ride by like when I rode at the same time. That number, don't take it too seriously because it may seem like really far and high or high and far away.
Yeah.
But there's a good chance you will get on it. I need to say that because I left.
There's something going on with the sound or something.
I can't
It
hear
says
it.
choppy.
Do I need to speak louder?
No, I think it's just chopping.
Is it just chopping?
I can't hear you chopping.
We had a problem last week
We
too.
did have a problem. I might be having a problem this week though.
Oh no.
Okay, let's wait a
Horrible
second.
feed. Let me try something.
Okay, now somebody said it's better.
Is it better? Can you hear me? Testing one.
Yeah, somebody
two,
said better
three.
fixed.
Testing.
So
testing.
choppy, better, good. Okay,
Fixed?
keep going. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
I messed around with some stuff back here to try to fix it, so I think we're good. Yep, go ahead. Keep
Awesome.
going. Continue.
Alright, so anyway.
But yeah, so I have to say, like, if you're someone who's gonna do it, don't be so fearful of that number because there is still a good chance you'll get on within a normal amount of time.
It's I think it's because people were so nervous about it because it's new.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that, we're used to, trying to get a fast pass, and if you can't, you can go stand in line.
Yes.
But at Rise of the Resistance, you can't. I was just there yesterday. I went to the studios to get pictures, and we walked past Rise of the Resistance, and there's there's cast members standing out there, but it's weird because it looks like the ride isn't even open.
Yeah, it looks like it's almost like it's closed for technical difficulties, but it's not. It's like it's operating normally. It's really wild.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure that nobody's complaining.
No,
I'm
keep
saying
going,
it's
keep
better.
going.
Okay. So I think that's something that just like he was saying. I know it was a little bit choppy, but the whole point was that not to be worried about the virtual queue. That you'll get in, and so let me ask you this: so was it as crowded when you went back the second time as it was when you went the first time, as far as people trying to get in the park?
So it's so funny. We actually got there right after the gates had opened, or the turnstiles had opened. So people were entering in pretty rapidly at that point. But I don't think it was as crazy. I feel like back in December, it was
a bad house.
the
wasn't
line
it?
was all the way down to the parking lot.
Oh,
like just
gosh.
bodies of people. And for this, it really wasn't that bad.
So it's getting better.
I think it's getting better, and I think a lot of people have done it already, and I think a lot of AP holders have done it,
Yeah.
which I think is significant because they've kind of experienced the hype, and they're not so like prone to jumping on it.
Yeah.
I feel like they've gotten to experience it. It's been a few months.
Unless you're an AP holder like myself, that we just haven't gone.
Who has? I know, which is crazy.
I know. It's just because this is gonna sound so bad, but we're just not morning people
Yeah.
as far as getting up. And on the weekends, like the kids don't. They want it. That's Saturday.
There is a couple questions. I
Okay.
think it might have been when it was choppy.
Okay.
Somebody asked, is it only fast pass ride? If you want to explain that again. And then, do you guys ever think there'll be a standby line?
Ooh.
Just want to answer those two questions.
Do we think it will be? I think eventually it's gonna go to a regular line.
Mhm.
Do you?
I think and I think maybe it's like more like maybe when Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway opens, I
Yes.
think some of that I think some of that crowd will like get to disperse to other areas and it won't be so intense, I feel like.
Yeah, because you can't get a fast pass for Rise, but you can for if you can, we're gonna get to that of Runaway Railway because those fast passes just became available if you can get one.
If you think about it, though, you could technically get 4 fast passes if you can get ride. If you can get Rise, then you can get 3 fast passes for the day. You could actually have 4.
True. Oh, so and that's another thing people do. Like that they go in the morning and get their boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance, and they have fast passes to go on other rides.
Yeah.
So they try to get other things done out of the way while you're waiting.
Yeah.
And I know some people that like kind of like shark around the ride waiting for their it's time.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how you want to spend your day. But I know a lot of people, especially people vacationing, they go do other things.
Yeah.
Go to Toy Story Land, go do Tower of Terror, and then come back and do the boarding thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just depends on how you want to spend your day. But I just have to say, I'm just like almost embarrassed. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
She's gonna get there.
I'm gonna get there.
I'll make sure she
I mean, I want to. See, that's the thing. And I already had this preconceived notion because I know how I am. So like Media Day, John and I wrote it 4 times.
Yeah.
Because I knew.
Like this is it. We're never
This is
riding
it, because
again.
I don't know when I'm going to be able to come
You're
back.
done.
No, because I knew after I rode it the first time, I'm like, oh man, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
And the awesomeness is going to spread and everybody's going to know. And I'm not going to get on this flipping ride again for months because I just don't, I think as annual pass holders sometimes too, we take it for granted because like, if it's a busy day in the park or if we can't get a fast pass for such and such time, we'll just go another day.
Yeah.
But when you're on vacation, you have such a short window that you have to get those things in.
There's not many days.
There's not many. But I was going to talk about villains next, but since we're on the studios, why don't we talk about Runaway Railway?
Yes.
Okay, so I put up pictures yesterday that the new marquee is up. And some of the feedback, I was telling Sean before we started, some of the feedback has been just a little bit negative.
Yeah.
Now, as you know, Disney fans as a whole don't always embrace change.
No.
And I'm the same way. I don't like change either. I have a really hard time with change. But when, Walt said things are always moving forward, and that's how it's supposed to be. And do you remember that before when they closed the Great Movie Ride?
Yes, I do remember that.
And nobody flocked to it until it was closing.
Yeah.
Same thing with Backlot Tour and everything else that they closed. Like as soon as you find out it's closed, then everybody's like, oh my gosh. Or when they closed Maelstrom a few years ago, that was a frenzy that night. We went on the last night it was open, and the whole pavilion in Norway was filled with people. It was like a memorial service. It was so somber, and I was like, oh my god.
It was very sentimental and sad.
It was like sad. Like everybody was giving their final goodbyes to this ride.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was. I don't know. I guess everybody has their favorites, but the Great Movie Ride, as much as I loved it, and I did love it, it needed to be updated at least. What do you think?
It's so funny. For me, I feel like I did really enjoy that ride. It was something that, for me, I guess it did what it was supposed to do. It took you back through the history of movies. And for me, a lot of those films, I had my own personal memories.
Oh, that's nice.
And so that's I'm not going to get emotional, but it's funny because a lot of those movies, I really had kind of connected to just significant moments in my life with people that are not here anymore. And so for me, I think when I get to go on that ride, I got to experience all those memories again.
It's like memory lane.
It is, and it's funny. It's funny because the whole theme park of Epcot is just a massive memory to me because I grew up going to that theme park my whole life, more so than any of the other parks.
Oh wow!
Just because growing up in Orange County Public Schools, that's the only park you can go on field trips to. Fun facts for people. But no, with that ride though, the Great Movie Ride, I think that's kind of what it was. There was so many memories, and so I remember going that last night, and it was actually so sad.
I'm sad
for myself because it really hit me. This is the end. Yeah,
this is it. And
I don't blame them for closing it though, because I feel like at the same time, what's coming is going to be amazing. We all know it. It's obvious. But I think at the same time, it has to change. It has to grow. It can't be the same.
No,
it just has to. They have to keep evolving, and that's what they're doing.
Do you remember when there was talk about them changing just the movies? They were going to. There was talk, and I don't know if it was legit talk or if it was just people saying it.
Yeah.
But that's why we don't put out rumor because I just don't know. So I mean, I just flat out don't know where. I'm glad we didn't put that one out. But I had heard that they were going to take the Great Movie Ride and update it with more current movies.
Yeah.
They were talking about, and then when they changed the movie at the end a few years ago, some of the movies they put in, people were like, "Oh, that." They thought it was a hint. They're gonna put pirates in there now. They're gonna do, all these movies that they added. They thought it was kind of a hint as to what they could change it to.
Yeah.
And obviously that was all wrong.
Yeah.
It was
no, not anywhere near.
Nowhere near it.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally did not see a Mickey and Minnie ride coming.
No.
I thought they would update the movies before.
Yeah.
And I think, you do have memories. I mean, when I was a kid, they used to show Wizard of Oz around Easter time. So I'd always it was like a memory for me because it was always in the spring. I'd watch Wizard of Oz with my family.
Aww.
Or you know, like stuff like from a kid, or I was never allowed to watch like Aliens and stuff like that because it was too scary.
That's one of my. I actually just watched all the movies.
Did you?
Recently? Yeah, they're all on HBO. If anyone's looking to watch it, and they're all marvelous. They're really amazing movies. I don't know why. I don't really like crazy sci-fi stuff.
No.
I love
But they're
the
kind of
alien
good.
movies.
My-
They're just
yeah,
magic.
Andrew likes
They
them,
are.
too.
Because they're so good. They are
Yeah.
so good. I recommend.
My
whoever
dad likes
wants
them too.
They're so good. Oh my, Sigourney Weaver is just like phenomenal. Oh my gosh.
You know, it's one of those things that like some of the movies I had seen, but I will be honest with you, some of the movies in the Great Movie Ride I had never seen before.
Yeah, same.
Some of them I was like, you know, it's a good thing there was the announcer on the boat or on the thing, because I was like you knew some of the iconic things of what they represented, but you didn't fully understand. At least I did not. Like the synchronized swimmers.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember what that's
what
from.
movie was that? It was from the 30s, like 1930s.
Scott, do you know? He's gonna look it up.
Was somebody now? Somebody at home might know. It's you know what I'm talking
Excuse me,
about.
yeah,
They had the something parade, wasn't
And
it?
it's like a cake of girls.
Yes, it's a cake. It's like a layered cake, or it's like
cake of women,
sparkly,
yeah.
sparkly.
Like showgirls.
Like
yeah.
showgirls.
Yeah.
Oh my God, something parade.
It was like, I don't remember.
Moonlight Parade. Michelle Perkins is saying, is it Moonlight Parade?
I probably
It was something that looked like a really good movie. I never saw it though.
Like all that classic stuff, but I had never seen.
Footlight Parade.
The Footlight Parade.
Footlight
that's it,
Parade.
yeah,
Okay, all right. So I knew it was Parade. I had that part down.
Yeah.
But I never saw that movie.
No.
I've never seen Olive Singing in the Rain. I know the song. I know the whole dance thing. Singing in the rain.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you could recreate that in the back.
Hmm?
You used to be able to sing.
Yeah,
with the umbrella.
Streets of America. They had the
I remember, and
umbrella.
you
You
pull
could
it
take
and
a
the water would
picture.
come down. I remember
Yes,
that.
yes,
Right.
yes. Okay, so like all of those things, but see, look we get excited. We're like, oh yeah, the umbrella in the back, and we get excited because those memories are still there. And I think that people need to keep that in mind when it comes to changing of a ride.
Yeah.
Sure, we're always gonna miss what was there, and I agree with the people that are, that miss the things that are gone. But we have to embrace it because it's not gonna, like yesterday. I put out something about Great Movie Ride, and people were, Great Movie Runaway Railway, and people were like, well, they need to bring the Great Movie Ride back. Well, they can't.
No.
It's gone. I mean, I know that sounds so harsh, but that whole inside of that ride is revamped. It's almost ready. And when we did Rise of the Resistance, I got to see inside, and I got to see the pre-show.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's gonna be so fun. Guys, I already talked to them. I didn't want to ruin it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you later. But it's gonna be.
She'll ruin it for you.
I'll ruin it for you.
Please do.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm okay with it. Just ruin it. We're good. It's okay.
No, it's like one of those things that you like. It was so cool for me that I don't want people to be like, oh, why did you tell me that's what happens? So I mean, just the little bit that I've got to see, and then the two of the Imagineers that worked on the ride were talking about it, and so much that they put into it. I really, really, really hope that people give it a chance because I think it's going to be really great.
Yeah.
I mean, and yes, well, I still miss the Osborne lights. I mean, I get it as far as missing things that are gone.
Yeah.
I mean, like, is there something that you miss the most out of all the things that are gone? It doesn't have to be studios. It could be anywhere.
You know what's so funny? Recently, I've gotten a little fearful when I go into Epcot because it does feel like it's changing a lot.
Everything is changing.
And that's like, I'm kind of like I said earlier, like I have so many memories of Epcot, and so like that was always the theme park I'd walk into, and everything was the same, no matter how many years I had aged, or the people that were with me, or what I was doing, or what I was there for. When I would walk into, I guess right by, oh my gosh, what is the area between, I guess right by the Electric Umbrella.
That's in Future World.
In Future World, right there, I guess like kind of in between Spaceship Earth and wherever else.
The fountain area?
The fountain area. That spot has remained the same.
Yes.
My whole life. And so for me, like, as you walk in now with like the bricks, or what is it, where all the names used to be.
All the names that used to be.
All the names used to be there. That's gone now.
Leave a Legacy.
The Leave a Legacy, that's all gone now. And I don't. It's just like, and then the electric umbrella. They're like, aren't they?
They're
doing stuff
supposed to
that?
be good. It's still there right now.
It's still there right now, but the Starbucks is being redone.
And what's funny, I haven't checked it this week, but I checked a few weeks ago. Leave a Legacy was still listed on Walt Disney World as an attraction at Epcot.
Yeah.
They're moving Leave the Legacy.
Yeah,
They're
not
moving
getting
it
rid of the
somewhere.
ride.
They
And
just haven't said where.
The mouse gear is like in a different place
Mouse
now.
Gear is
And
refurb,
yeah.
and that speaking of, that was like the best store on property
It was
for new
amazing,
merchandise.
yeah.
They always got the new stuff at Mouse Gear. So now they have a temporary Mouse Gear
Yeah.
across the way, but it's not the same.
No.
And it's smaller. It's really, really small.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, and I was sad about the Fountain of Nations too. I was like sad, like, you know, I used to go in there and like if it was shooting and doing its thing.
Yeah.
When we walk in, I'd always stop and get video of it, or you know, something to share
Yeah.
because people love that,
Yeah.
or take pictures in front of the fountain with the kids
And
or whatever.
it's just so quintessential Epcot.
It
you
is,
know?
and now it's gone.
yeah.
And the
It's
Starbucks
sad.
building is gone.
And that
I know.
Starbucks building looks like somebody blew a hole in it. It's
Yeah.
gone.
It was, yeah, so I think for me, I get really estranged in that spot of the park.
It kind of
It
takes
makes
you
me
back,
sad. It
like,
makes me
ooh.
sad. Yeah, that
Yeah.
and I do miss. I don't want to say it, but the Great Movie Ride. I'm excited for what's to come.
So
but
you're not
that's-
gonna go pick it outside the ride in
No,
March,
no,
are
and
you?
I'm gonna embrace Mickey and Minnie's Movie Ride. But there's just
If you
weird.
get a pass.
I just have weird memories. I know if I get a fast pass.
So,
but no, I just have weird.
You're gonna see
memories.
the news: a Florida man gets arrested at
Young
Hollywood
Florida
Studios.
man arrested at Disney's Hollywood
And you'll see
Studios.
Sean with like a shirt,
And
this
it's
great
like,
movie ride,
Bring
and
back the
like,
movies. Yeah. Bring back the movies.
Bring back the movies.
I know.
Sean.
I know, but that's like my only sadness right now.
But
But
I'm
I'm gonna
talking
get
about the
over it.
rumor
I'm
that they were
get
going to update Blue Ride. Remember they said they were going to replace it with all Disney-owned properties.
Yeah, well, they said
That's
that
what
they
it's
were going to
supposed to
take
be.
it and make all Disney movies.
So like no MGM stuff.
No, so it would be
Right.
like Mary Poppins could stay,
Yeah.
you know. But it's like it was going to. That's why people really thought they were going to have a whole section about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
But people
So-
need to realize Mickey deserved a ride.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, that's-
Everything he's never had a ride. in his
Mickey
history
does
of the
not
company.
have a ride.
Yeah.
Mickey and Minnie. I mean, it's all started by a mouse, and the mouse doesn't have his own ride.
And
So
never has.
it was about time. I mean, if you ask me, it was about time.
It
And I
was.
know a lot of people don't like the fact that they're using the updated Mickey shorts instead of classic Mickey. So, but again, it's.
But you know what's so funny about that though? I feel like Mickey Mouse has evolved since the beginning of his time. With his premiere at Steamboat Willie.
Oh yeah.
He looks nothing like that now.
Yeah, which classic Mickey do you want?
I mean, I feel like he will change forever, and I think that's what makes him so magical. Is he's evolved for so many years, and he continues to evolve, and he continues to be a part of all of our lives and new generations' lives in. I feel like a manner that suits the times that he's in. And I don't know. I get like being nostalgic for who he was, but I will always love Mickey Mouse, and regardless of what he looks like.
Me too.
It still means
It's still
he's
Mickey.
the same Mickey to me.
Do you remember? I just had a thought. Do you remember? It was a year and a half ago. You and I spent the whole weekend together covering Destination D. At,
Oh my
Do
God!
you remember?
yeah.
Look at me. He's like, oh my
Yeah.
god. We spent a lot of time
We
together.
spent a lot of time. Many of us, like whether we're like running around on our like computers, on our iPhones, like
That
trying to
event
get-
was a challenge
That
to
was
cover
wild.
because
That was wild.
the people from
Wild.
D23 is obviously they do it in Anaheim, but every other year they have Destination D at Disney
a
World.
celebration of Mickey Mouse.
Yes. So they had us in this big showroom,
Yeah.
but we weren't allowed to live feed or whatever. We had to like write everything
Yes.
down as
Only-
we were.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was like everybody was like, "What did they
Too
say?"
many.
It was too much information.
Yeah.
But the reason what made me think of it was because during Destination D is when they told us more about Runaway Railway
Yeah.
and how the whistle in the ride is the same whistle that was used in Steamboat Willie. Do you
Yes,
remember
I
that?
do remember that very well.
So they're using a lot of classic things at Disney history that they're putting into the new ride.
Yeah.
So even if you don't like the updated Mickey shorts and stuff, they're still going to intertwine like classic things.
Yeah.
And that whistle, they made a big deal about that whistle.
They made a very big deal about that one. But you know what's so funny? It's weird because that whistle was around during the conception of Mickey Mouse.
Yes!
And so I understand that significance because it's I guess they just it's almost like Epcot forever. Like it's
Epcot
kind
for
of.
now.
Epcot for now.
Epcot for
But it's
now.
like, well, no, but it's like yes, it's new right now, but it like kind of holds true to what it once was, I guess, even though it's a new
Yeah.
format.
I'm really interested interested to see what it's going to be about. I'm actually pretty excited. I mean, I was kind of disappointed, I won't lie, because, you know, we shoot straight. When I got home yesterday, I was so excited to put pictures and video of the marquee. Yeah, Disney Parks put it out, but I was going to go get it, and I'm showing my people, look at that. And when it got some negative feedback, I was like a little disheartened. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, this is great. You know, Evolve, a great movie ride can't come back. Yeah, you have to. And I really think that I always tell people I really believe Disney knows what they're doing, and even if we might not understand why, you figure it out afterward. Like all the stuff, that's changing at Epcot.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the comments, and Liz said R.I.P. Toontown. So Toontown. If you want to see Toontown now, you got to go to. They have it in California.
Yeah.
But it's not the same.
No.
You know, I mean, look at New Fantasyland. Everybody made a big deal about New Fantasyland and how, you know, we used to have Snow White, and then we had the Dumbo ride was way over on the other side. And then when they took 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and they had Ariel's Grotto over there, I mean,
it's gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
But people adjusted.
They did.
See, there's a point. There's a point.
They embraced it.
They embraced it. And I guess we will too. I think Epcot is going to be pretty awesome when it's done.
Yes.
I
think it will be incredible. I do.
I'm very much looking forward to the Guardians ride.
Yes.
I think that's going to be amazing.
I'm going to get my fast pass for that.
Oh, God, I will stand in line. If they do, please don't,
Yeah.
Disney, don't do virtual queue.
Yeah.
Let us just go stand in line. I will pack the lunch. I will stay all day.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Pack it off.
The line is going to be eternal,
Yeah.
but I will wait for it because the technology. Weren't you there?
Oh, at the Box Pack at IAPA? Yeah.
See, we've done all kinds of things
too many things together.
So you were at that
I
breakfast because I think we sat next to each other.
Yeah, and they unveiled
Shocker.
the ride vehicles for the ride.
Yes, and how they said that it was going to be a story coaster and how it was going to turn. And then we come to find out that they're going to have a backwards launch on it. I just think that it's going to be pretty cool. And people were concerned about motion. I'm like, take your Dramamine. It's going to be worth it. I'm going to be popping my motion sickness meds and I'm going.
I'm just going to do it.
I'm just going to. You'll deal with the repercussions after. If I don't feel good later, that's all right. Right?
It'll be fine.
Morgan's on it, by the way.
Is she really? Did she
Morgan.
say hi? Hey, Morgan.
Morgan, why didn't you come? You should have.
Oh
Remember we have that open door policy now.
I have to say, Guardians is my favorite ride at Walt Disney World.
We were there yesterday. We were.
Or it will be.
No, he's already saying it is. He
Okay.
has that much faith in the Guardians ride. When we were at studios yesterday.
It's a great franchise. The movies are amazing.
I like Marvel Bear and Star Wars, so I can't.
He's like, it's already my favorite. I'm like, but he goes, nope, it's already my favorite ride.
He knows.
I'm like, okay,
I feel you. I respect that.
So-
And then Avengers Campus in Disneyland will be my second.
I'm excited for that.
See, and that's one thing when you go out to Disneyland.
Get to shoot webs.
Yeah, you get to do lots of things, and some of the stuff that we don't have anymore, they have out there. You just have to switch parts.
Yeah.
You just gotta go, just quick 5-hour flight.
Yeah. It's worth it. It's worth it.
It's worth it because they still have Mr. Toad out there. They have Snow White. They have Toontown. They have things that we don't, but they have some little extras. Like they're. Do you remember? Listen to me. I'm like, keep saying, do you remember? We're walking down memory lane here because we've covered a lot of things.
There's a lot of nostalgia here.
Yeah. So when a few years back, when they changed their Tower of Terror into Guardians Mission Breakout.
I remember reading the comments on our posts about that, and they were so nasty. Like, I'm just gonna say it. Like, I mean, there was so much passion, there was so much hatred, and it was not. It was not a very nice. It wasn't nice. The response initially,
Nope.
but I think it's funny because I feel like so many people really do love that.
It's a great ride.
I think it's. I've experienced it. I really have had a great time on it. I feel like it's fun and it's fresh. I don't want to give too many opinions, but I don't know. But I don't like. I'm assuming you're also a fan of it, maybe, possibly.
See, so I didn't want to be a fan.
Okay.
I didn't. I mean, I understood why people were not happy. I don't. The negative comments, even though I know they're not necessarily directed at me, they still get me sometimes. It's like, how could they do this? And I'm like, I don't know, I didn't make the decision, but I love Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
So
do I.
And I was like, oh, I don't know if this is a good idea. So in 2017 when we went out to cover D23, I actually got to ride Guardians, and I went in there like this, like it's not Tower of Terror. And when I got off of it, I was laughing my butt off.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was the most
This was magic.
fun. It was magic.
Yeah.
It's. I tell people, I've told you guys before, it's like a bouncing party. They play like party music, and it is the coolest thing. So I think the whole point is that sometimes we just gotta just trust and believe that they got this, and we're gonna love it.
Yeah.
And you got to remember too, the tower here is the original. Disneyland did not have the original tower. The original tower was built at Hollywood Studios.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people would think, oh, you can't take it away. It was there. No, it wasn't there first. It was here first. And it's a park icon here. So they couldn't have two park icons in two different parks.
Because the park icon at California Adventure is the wheel. It's not.
Right, and they couldn't have the tower be the icon. If they had Hollywood Tower Terror out there, why is it not the park icon if it is here?
Yeah.
So they had to change it up.
True, and it's great. And when we go out there now, we were there last summer to cover D23 again, but then we stayed for like 4 days and took the kids to the park. That was the ride that we had. It was our must-do.
Yeah.
We had to go on it. So if you haven't done that one yet, that's a lot of fun. But I guess the whole point is that trust them.
Yeah.
It'll be good. I think it will be.
Yeah.
You know?
Ask, believe, receive.
Yeah. They're just gonna sprinkle pixie
They're
dust
just like pixie
on
dust
it,
and they will.
and it's gonna be all good.
Yeah.
So, all right. So listen, we're like trust us.
I know.
Okay, so last summer, if you recall, we covered Villains After Hours.
I
together.
do remember that was a fun night.
You got the.
I got like
You
wings
got-
on my eyes. You posted today.
I did. If you're in our private group on Facebook, TMSM Fan Nation, a picture of Sean, and I had purple hair in that picture.
Yeah.
We were at Villains After Hours.
We were.
That's
We were.
why.
So it wasn't a rave. It was.
we were at a wild party.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Actually, no, we were at Disney.
We were. Yeah.
But so that was when you and I covered, it was the first year of it.
Yeah.
And so last Friday, if you saw pictures, they brought it back. So I thought we could talk a little bit about what Villains After Hours has to offer. But I did want to show first, people had asked me about the new logo for Villains After Hours. Like last year, Hades was the on the shirt. But this year they have Oogie, they have Ursula.
So
I mean,
cute.
Hades is still there, but it's got like the castle.
Now, does this glow in the dark or is this?
I don't know if it does or not. That's a good question.
It's so cute though. Oh my gosh.
So, but they do have one shirt. I think the pass holder shirt or something has Hades across it. But this is like the girly version. So I got this one with the
flowy arms.
ruffles
I like that.
because I have to be stylish
Of
too.
course.
Of course.
Oh my gosh. Duh.
And then here's the brochure for this year's Villains After Hours.
The food this year looks so good. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they have. I mean, it's different. I don't remember if it's the same stuff that we had.
Oh, I guess for me, that just looks really like the painting, the red roses.
It's a
That
cheesecake
looks
mousse.
wild. I can't even eat it. I'm allergic to milk.
I was gonna say, how are you gonna eat it? You can't do
It
dairy.
looks good.
It was good, and that's why I used to sit next to him at events.
Because you would eat all my food because I couldn't eat it.
You gonna eat that, Sean?
I would take a bite, just a little bite, just like, just to sample it. But.
So when we went last year, some of the things that they still had was the stage show.
Okay, yeah.
Do you remember all the villains that were in it? I know Hades hosted
Hades
it.
hosted it, yeah.
And they had
Evil Queen.
Evil Queen, Maleficent,
Yeah.
Jafar,
And
The facilitator,
Dr.
Dr.
Facilier.
Facilier. Yes. So it's the
And
same
Meg.
show. Oh, and Meg, but she's not really a villain.
His little nutmeg. Because he calls her throughout the show.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they still have that the Hades show at the stage, and then the big draw, like when we went last year, was to see the Maleficent dragon at night, which her eyes glow.
Yeah.
It's a whole different experience at night because I mean, were you impressed when you saw it at night, or were you just kind of like, well, it's the same dragon? You can be honest.
I think the fire was much cooler at night. Like when she actually breathes the fire.
Yeah.
That's really. It was a lot more intense, I think, at night because it just lights up the sky.
It does.
Over your face, yeah.
But you want to hear something? Though?
Yeah, I do.
On Friday, she wasn't breathing fire, and I don't know why.
Really?
I don't know if maybe her fire was broken.
Oh no.
Or somebody put out her fire. Or because it was cold. It was cold Friday night.
She just needed an extra sprinkle of pixie dust.
She needed some extra pixie dust. Because she was still going around.
Yeah.
But there was no fire.
She was having a
And you know how like you can tell when she raises her head up?
I bet she was just shy.
She was shy.
It was it the first night?
It was.
Yeah, so she was shy. She's
Opening night jitters.
Opening night jitters. That's what it was.
She's like, no, I can't tonight.
I can't tonight. Soon, yeah. I bet she's breathing fire now. I bet she is.
I had so many people say to me because I put it out on our social media and people were like, "Where's the fire?" Like I don't know where the fire is. I was waiting for it too because like during the parade in the daytime, you know, when she starts to raise her head, you know it's coming.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here it comes, and then nothing.
And the music was playing that starts to ramp up.
Yeah, he's like the music starts to get louder, and you're like, here it comes, and it didn't. But the good part, which I thought was an excellent addition, was, I don't want to say it wrong. Okay, so it's called the Cursed Caravan. Now that's what I put on our Facebook page, the video. So instead of just her by herself, she had all kinds of baddies in front of her. She had Gaston on a horse.
Oh, wow.
Interaction with people, which was funny. You know, he was like
a live horse.
A live horse.
Wow, that's wild.
And then they had Cruella in a car. She was like in a convertible, and they're interacting with the crowd as they're going by. Lady Tremaine and the Stepsisters. Wow. And this was really, really cool. This was my favorite part of the new little show. Do you remember when they added Constance Hatchaway in the Halloween parade last year? They had the bride, and she was on the...
Kind of like how the fairies ride through.
I think I do remember that, yeah.
So she's on wheels, obviously, of some sort, but she's floating. They have Ursula floating on the parade route. And then her
tentacles.
Yeah, I mean she's all over it, and she has like some sort of a light up.
And then Flotsam and Jetsam and their names.
Yes.
They were on sticks around her. They were actors.
She was my favorite because she was. It looked like she was floating down the parade route. So Ursula is very, very cool. And then they had, on the last float, they had like Oogie, they had the bowler hat guy from Meet the Robinsons, Big Bad Wolf, and then somebody else, I can't remember. The video's on our page.
Was it Dr. Facility? Is he on there?
Was it Dr. Facility? I don't know. But anyway, so they had like this whole caravan of villains. And then they had the dragon at the end. Really cool. So I think that added to it.
Yeah.
But what's funny is, do you remember when they did the dragon last year? She didn't do the whole parade route. She went from the back, around the hub, and then back to the back again. Yeah. Same thing. They don't do the whole parade. Nope, they don't do the whole parade route. So you have to.
I think it's because they don't want her going down Main Street.
I was just thinking that.
I think that's what it is.
I feel like a lot goes into that when they close down Main Street. I do believe that's an intense experience for them.
Why wouldn't they want her to go down Main Street? Do you think?
Maybe because when she's breathing fire at nighttime, they don't. I don't know.
There's
got to be some reason as to why they don't want her down.
I feel like it seems like whenever anything goes down Main Street, they have to close it down and like I get like there's lesser people there at night, and because it's a limited access event.
Captain Hook.
Cheryl just said
Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Captain Hook.
But yeah, maybe that's why. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But they had. I think it was a really great addition this year because last year I felt, again. I'm gonna be honest. I felt like it needed something more.
Yeah.
Something more.
Because the after hours parties are great, but it needed something.
Yeah.
So I think the caravan, the Cursed Caravan was great. And another addition this year, which is fantastic, is that just like the other after hours parties now, you can go up to the stands and get popcorn and ice cream. Now they didn't have that last year, but now you can go get a Mickey bar or a Mickey ice cream sandwich, popcorn, and they have like the Coke products or water, and so that stuff I don't want to. It's free, but it's part of your ticket. Free with admission. Can we say it?
Make sure you take advantage of that though.
Yeah. And make sure you take advantage of it. You eat that ice cream and get that popcorn.
I saw some lady get like 8 Cokes.
Yes, we saw a lady walking with like 8 Cokes. She was like,
I did after hours at the Animal Kingdom one.
Okay.
I remember I left with boxes of popcorn under my arms just because it was free and it was included.
And you can. And they'll give you as much as you want.
And they will. And
for what you pay for a ticket, You get that
I
popcorn.
think they still need to have character meet and greets at the villain.
That's the only thing they don't have at after hours
Yeah.
for villains is the character meets. I mean, you see them,
Yeah,
but you don't get to actually take
like
pictures
experience
with them.
them. Yeah.
And if you could have some of those rare bad guys out there do things
Yeah.
like you do at the Halloween party,
Yeah.
it'd be cool to have them.
Like Jack Skellington, I know he's
Exactly.
a doc, like everyone goes crazy.
But imagine having Hades.
Can
Oh
you?
my gosh.
Oh
Or
yeah,
Oogie.
like do
Oogie doesn't do
Hades
mirrors.
and
That'd be
Oogie
great.
and how awesome would that be?
Yeah.
Or Maleficent.
Or
I mean,
Ursula.
Yeah.
Because you can do Maleficent in Disneyland, you can meet and greet her, but you can't do it here.
See,
She wanders out there.
that is something that I really thought, because I know last year I don't know how it was when you covered.
Yeah.
But when we were talking about reading comments and feedback, a lot of people were like, well, you don't get to meet the characters.
Yeah.
Or, there's stuff that the people would like to have added. No, you get to see the characters.
Yeah, you don't get to interact or experience them as, closely as some might like.
That was something they missed. Remember last year when you left, they had them up on the train station talking to you. They didn't
Yes,
have them up
that's-
there this year.
Really?
Maybe we left too early.
They had a sign saying goodnight or
I will
whatever.
say I saw the people's stuff, and I think I did see them.
We left.
Yeah,
It was cold. We left
almost
about
made it.
11:45. I think they were, because it looked like the lights were on, like they were gonna have
Yeah.
something.
And the
but we
stage
left.
show was going on. So
And the
they might
stage
have-
show was
Then
going
that might
on
have
when we
been
left.
why,
That's
yeah.
why, because they do the Hades show twice a night. And then the Cursed Caravan goes through again like before midnight, and then it's over. They did have some like photo opportunities, like magic shots or whatever, but Pirates had, just like last year, they had the
Yeah.
actors in there.
Inside the queue and then the ride. Yeah.
And then do you remember I don't know if it was Christmas or if it was Villains or if it was both. We went on Space Mountain with the overlay and it was dark.
And it was pitch black.
Yeah. I think that's what they did the same
Yeah.
thing. And you could hear like the villains laughing, but you couldn't see
But
nothing.
you see now it's like pitch black the whole time.
Yeah, it made me not feel well, only because, and I didn't like it because I remember you were sitting in front of me and on the ride and I could not see you.
I remember that. I do.
I'm like,
remember.
are you still there? Did you fly out? Because it was so dark, like you could not.
Where'd you go?
Where did you go? It was
Still there? Yeah.
It was funny if
dark.
you got off and he wasn't there.
Because you remember we got off the ride and I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about
Yeah.
that. It was a little
It was
bit.
a little intense.
It was a little
Like
intense.
for me, I love that like crazy. The scarier the better. But I don't. I will say that's not everyone's cup of tea. It's not.
I usually like it too. I think the whole thing was I couldn't get my bearings as far
Yeah.
as like Space Mountain. They have like when it's pitch black on Space Mountain, you can't feel the turns or anything. So all of a sudden you're
It just,
getting
like,
jerked around and
yeah.
you're like you don't see it coming.
Yeah.
Because when the lights are somewhat on,
Yeah.
when they got the stars or whatever, you can see a little bit of the track.
You can make out like the direction.
Yes,
of
or
the
at least see it in
yeah.
front of you.
Yeah.
But when it's pitch black, you can't see
Yeah.
anything in front of your face. And all it was like villains like cackling in the background, pitch black. I was like, cool. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Like this is too intense. This is too
Too much.
intense. Let's put some pixie dust on
Yeah,
this.
I know exactly. Can someone put like
I
even
know.
a nightlight on?
I
Just
know.
a little light.
Leave
so
the
that we
light
can
on.
see-
Like,
just
for me,
just a
like,
little bit.
literally, yeah.
So, speaking of, so before we finish that, $145 a ticket for Villains
Yes,
After Hours.
yeah.
It's a 3-hour party.
But do you get early access? Like, don't you get in 2 hours prior?
Maybe.
Scott's gonna look that
You
up.
have to have,
Because I think it usually comes. It's the 3 hours exclusive plus 2 hours of just
I think
admission
so.
to the park.
I think so, yeah. But if you don't get to take advantage of like the actual villain stuff, and they do check for
The
wristbands.
wristbands, yeah.
Like sometimes people want to know, well, how do they judge? They do
Yeah.
check at this
You
party.
can get in as early as 7, so in our case the party started at 9.
Yeah.
So 2 hours prior.
But I know there is going to be some parties that start at 10 because they're going to go to 1 in the morning. So if you get in at
So it
7,
may
you would actually
change.
get a 7-hour
Yeah, 7
or a
hours.
6-hour party.
A
rather.
6-hour party. Okay.
Yeah. So you can find if you go to Disney's website, they'll have all that information.
Or you can maybe
Or on mine.
yeah.
I
I was
don't have it.
gonna like picture.
Actually, so
Or on the Mickey Mouse might have it too. So go to Disney. We have it too.
So tickets purchased in advance are $145. Same day $155.
Oh wow.
If you are an annual pass holder or vacation club, it's $115.
Oh, okay.
So that's a big $30 savings.
Okay, so
if you're
your
a
pass
vacation
holders and
holder.
DVC,
Yeah.
you get it cheaper. So that's not
Yeah.
so
So
bad.
it's 9 to midnight. Last week, the 21st and the 6th, and then all other nights are gonna be 10 to 1.
And you said APN DVC or just DVC?
AP and DVC.
AP and
115.
DVC are cheaper. They get it for
Yeah.
$115. And another good thing about these after hours parties is the very low wait times for rides. I mean, like stuff that you usually can't maybe get a fast pass for, like Seven Dwarfs or the Mine Train. You know,
20 minutes.
it's you can actually when we went to the other after hours a couple weeks ago, and we walked right on the Mine Train.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no wait. And at Villains the other night, same thing. There was no wait for anything.
And there's less tickets, so the villains are after hours than there is to Halloween. So that's one of the benefits
Yes.
opposed to Halloween. You can ride the rides more.
Yeah, it's not as crowded as Halloween. Like as far as like watching the the caravan or watching the stage show, it didn't seem like you had to fight to get a spot
Yeah.
like you do at Halloween.
Halloween, it's very intense. And it's funny because I always, when we were covering it, we'd usually be filming it or gathering content for it, and I never forget going from the stage show to the parade. I would always get in right in front of Cinderella Castle, and I'd be standing right there with the hopes of being able to go from viewing the stage show to then turning around to getting a nice shot of the parade as it kind of comes around.
Yeah.
And there would be times when I wouldn't even be able to turn around, or people would come and almost assault me, and like kind of like they just like get really close to you, kind of trying to take your spot. And so it is very different. I think the experience to ride.
Halloween
Just with
is
the amount of bodies.
more packed than these after
A lot
hours.
more
So there
people.
are advantages. Yes, you're going to spend more, but you're not going to feel as rushed
No.
or as crowded to see what they have to offer.
Yeah.
And again, like Halloween, you get to trick or treat, but after hours, you get ice cream and popcorn. So you do get something.
Yes.
So I think that if you keep all those things in mind, that the after hours parties are worth it. Even just to it's very cool
At
to
the
be
Magic
there at Magic Kingdom's after hours parties. It almost feels like you have the park to yourself at some spots when you're walking around.
You're
It's
right.
like, oh my gosh, there's nobody back here.
In Fantasyland is where I would notice it the most. Because it just felt like I was alone in the park.
It's kind of
It's
weird.
really, there's something about, I think the lesser amount of rides in certain
Yeah.
parts, you'd be alone.
And if you
almost,
stay till later in the evening, you can get some really nice shots of the castle with nobody in the way. I he teases me because I have a million pictures of the castle, and
And you'll continue to
and
take millions more.
I still take pictures of
Millions
the castle
more.
every time we
Yeah.
go to the park. I'm just
It's incredible. It's the staple. There's a lot of magic there. There's a lot
I
of
think we
magic
could
there.
create an actual 3D version of the castle with her pictures.
Yeah.
From every possible angle and spot of
Yeah.
the castle, we can recreate it.
It's that thing. That's your thing. You just like taking pictures of the castle. I get
I
that.
do, and I take pictures of the lanterns.
But people come
too.
from across the world to see that castle. I think it's one of the most Instagram places in the world.
It is.
It is. I mean, it's that significant.
And how lucky are we that we live close?
It's
to
our
it?
backyard.
It's
Yeah.
when I lived in Michigan, I used to long to see that castle. And when we were getting ready to go home, like our last day of vacation, it would be like the last park I would go to. I was really dramatic. So we had to go to Magic Kingdom the first day and last day.
Yeah.
And as we're leaving the park, I had to do one more longing look at the castle, and I would cry because I would be like, I don't know when I'm gonna. It's like saying goodbye to a friend.
It
I
is,
don't know when
yeah.
I might not see you again for a couple of years, and it makes me sad. But I think that the whole Disney depression thing, I get it because it's how it was when I lived far away. Now I still love it. People will be like, oh, do you ever get that too? Like because you get to go to Disney, does it change how you view it? Do you still love it when you go? Do you still enjoy the parks?
What's so funny for me? I feel like it's weird. When my last job, I did Disney blogging 24 hours, 7 days a week, whatever. And then now it's obviously very different. But even with that last job, it would be different when I'd be there for work or when I'd be there for pleasure with my friends or whatever. And now I only go for fun. I don't really go for any other reason. And so it's like all of your inhibitions, all of your your worries, your stress, your job, it really just all melts away, and you're kind of in this place of fantasy. And I do see it that way, and I think I'll forever see it that way. And I don't know, I love it so much. There's nothing like it.
So
I can't find anything like it. I can't.
So do you ever sometimes have to stop yourself when you go to the parks if you see something that's like report worthy? Like,
oh my god, I think about messaging people. Or like, is that somewhere? Should I tweet it? I have no following, but still. Like, no, you're right. I do get like this. Or if I see something like on other people's Instagram and I go and I see it myself,
and you're like,
I do get excited. I'm like, oh my god, it's there.
Yeah, and it's like
I saw that on like the Main Street Mouse, or like whatever, you know. Like I do get like a sense of excitement, or whomever. Like there's.
Or like you want to report. You want to report, or like if you're if you're at the park and you see something that you haven't seen online yet, don't you like have that urge?
I do.
Sometimes?
I get like, oh my god, is that anywhere else but here in this moment?
Yeah,
I do feel that way. I do.
Before we close, we're almost at our hour. I do want to mention one more thing because we're talking about Magic Kingdom, the Tron coaster.
Yes.
So what do you think about that? I mean, are you excited for it?
Every time I go and I see like where they are with the track, it blows my mind. I've never been. It's in Shanghai.
Yeah,
I've never been to Shanghai Disneyland, but everything I've seen and heard about that ride, it's marvelous. It's out of this world. It's insane. And looking at how this ride is shaping out to be with its track alone, and the ride vehicles which are on display at the park, you can like test it out. You almost test seat yourself. I mean,
it's weird how the seats are because we went and we sat down and then you're like
over, like,
and then it's kind of like Flight of Passage how it closes your back in,
and you're kind of locked in, secure. I think I'm so excited for that ride. It's insane. That's like 2021 cannot come soon enough. It's still 2021, is it not? Yeah, I'm really excited.
Please, no virtual queue.
I know, no virtual queue.
No virtual queue. Just let us go stand in line.
That one I think you'll be able to because I think it's a roller coaster.
And I think it'll be much quicker and it's shorter and a lot more bodies can move through that. I think it's a people mover. I think it is.
You know, that's a really good point because with Rise of the Resistance, it's
that's
like a long experience.
Yeah,
you know,
there's only so many people that can ride.
Because you're walking through, you're seeing different things.
Yeah.
It's not just the ride. The ride itself is like 5 minutes. It's all the pre-stuff that takes longer.
Yeah.
And the queue itself at Rise is so long to get from the beginning of it to the end.
Even after they call your boarding group, you still do wait. For people who don't know that, you are waiting again for at least 25, maybe upwards of an hour, depending.
Jeez.
So, and again, it's an incredible experience, and I think they just really want to get everyone on it, and that's why it is that way. And the hype and the rush is still there.
Yeah.
But it is definitely a wait for sure. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with the new rides. I did notice though that you used to be able to see the track for Tron, and that building is almost all enclosed in now as of like last week.
I need to go. Do you have pictures?
I didn't go because it was dark when I was there the other night. But I had seen somebody else had posted, and they said that the walls are almost all the way up.
Wow.
And it was fast.
Yeah.
It was like in the past, I want to say week or two. Because the last 2 times I was at Magic Kingdom, it was at night, and you can't see back there at night. As far
behind
as
the people mover.
Yeah, you really can't see. But they said it's
Tron
almost.
Dirt is no more.
Yeah, there's no more Tron Dirt. It's not Tron Dirt. It's a full thing. I'm so glad I got pictures of the track before they put the walls up, though, because it's kind of cool. So then when it opens, you can be like, "Alright."
You'll have that memory of it. Yeah.
But you know what's funny is that with Guardians, they built the building before they built the track. So like they did it opposite.
They did.
Like so none of us even know what the Guardians track is going to look like. But Tron, they did the roller coaster track and then they're walling around it, which I don't understand.
Yeah, it's because you already seen it if you saw Shanghai's.
If you saw because you can go on YouTube and watch.
And part of the track does go outside on Tron. A little bit of it does go outside the building. If you look
and
at
I hear
it's
true.
That's true.
I hear it's like they got the glow in the dark stuff and like
the neon,
like techno music playing. Is that true?
I'm all about. I don't know.
So I love my dance music and anything.
Daft Punk has got the soundtrack.
Okay, so that's even gonna make it better for me.
I try not to ruin any of the Asian major rides, like even like the Pirates and
the Pirates is supposed to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's like phenomenal. I've seen clips of it. I'm not gonna lie, but I try not to ruin it for myself.
I don't either.
One day
I'm
I'm
never
going
going
to
to Shanghai.
Do you know? I don't ride a plane that long. But like even the same thing with Ratatouille opening in the summer.
Yeah.
I know that you can go and watch the France version online, and I have not done it. I don't want to see it.
No.
I want to be surprised. See, because they're still big Disney kids at the heart of it.
We are.
So you don't want to ruin it.
No.
Don't ruin my magic. It's just what Scott's always like, don't ruin the magic.
Watch all the comments on this post will just be links to all.
I know it's all gonna be. So I think that is it for tonight. Scott, did we have anything that we should be running down or not tonight?
No. 'Cause we haven't done it in the last few weeks, so I think I'm gonna.
like, no.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna compile all our commercials at the end, and I'm gonna attach them at the end of the videos. I think moving forward, so they will be there. But I don't think we need to run. Just remember, if you're planning your vacation, contact MEI.
Yes, MEI Mouse Fan Travel is our official travel sponsor. Please.
Or if you need a stroller, Kingdom Strollers.
And if you need a stroller, Kingdom Stroller, and
Those
you know
are
where to
our
find us
recommendations.
on Instagram, Facebook at the Main Street Mouse, YouTube. Actually, everything is at the Main Street Mouse.
Not Twitter.
Not Twitter. Twitter is at Main Street Mouse, but
Yeah.
nobody goes on our Twitter.
We need to get our Twitter up. That's Sean's new job.
That was
It
my
would
job.
make Sean do it.
I'm gonna tweet right now. I'm gonna tweet right now.
So, anyway, so that's it for this week. I really appreciate you all watching, and I really appreciate you, Sean, for being our guest
thank you for having
co-host.
me.
It's about time
It's
we
about
finally got
time,
you on,
yes.
so thank you.
I'm so happy I got to be here. Thank
Yeah,
you so
yeah, yeah.
So Sean's replacing me now.
So
He's
Sean
full-time
is
now.
my new co-host.
Scott who?
Scott who? It'll be
Don't
the
know
Sean
who it
Sean
is.
show.
See, if
But
we were really
thank
good
you.
at video, we could have like superimposed me there. Like I went on a diet, and then I became Sean.
You,
He morphed into Sean.
you
That's
got
so
really
funny.
short too.
But anyway, thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and we will see you real soon.
Bye.
Bye.